Welcome, welcome to the lovely IHP community. We have a late IHP show with your very own 5D Mystic Maria stories. And we're beginning to have our lovely paid subscribers and also the free ones of you continue to come on over for self-empowerment, personal development, mindset growth podcast topics like this one. So when you have Dr. Bruce Perry, thank you, the more healthy relationships a child has, the more likely he will be to recover, she or they, from trauma and thrive. Yes, relationships are the agents of change, and the most powerful therapy is human love. I'm not really an agent of change unless you choose to notice if your body is in connection or protection. And do I have a grown-up in front of me, meaning a prefrontal cortex, or do I have the adaptive child part that has a story for me? And that story will involve, where are you? I mentioned this one before, not only mediocrity, but also the suffering bit. So while I understand some people don't know how to use the body in connection, I know my body with the connection because I have a ventral vagal state. So as a self-agent, what I noticed is I'm not an agent of change for anyone that has a self-narrative that sustains their suffering, or some Shaolin master that tells them the number one truth of this life, this very existence. That's only if you're a Buddhist, apparently. And that's why I make fun of Buddha. He sat under a tree. I say, Jesus suffered for my sins. I'm so literal that when I got told, you don't have to suffer for anything, Jesus did it already. So be appreciative of all of that, which is life, with all your emotions, Maria. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I get angry, I get sad, I get afraid. As long as I'm physically safe. I forgot to mention, I know my PDP framework and the IPNB framework, thanks Dr. Daniel Siegel, and that this differentiated self told the mother of mine and the biological father of mine exactly what to do at my 3 years of age with my angry little butthole. My twin, on the other hand, well, she has different subcortical areas in the lead. And so we can all know a lot about our souls. I'm an empowered feminine, but the humanity and humanness of you will be what leads you everywhere, because your body's either in connection, or if it's not, Dr. Amy explains, what was it? Why am I not getting better? Why you are still in survival mode even after years of therapy and healing work. So Dr. Amy, the Biology of Trauma podcast. It's not about yoga and healing and people that are happy being fake. It's that some people don't know that when they're scribbling on a wall making fun of people like me, not only woo-woo pseudoscience, but I'm also apparently pretending to be happy. Instead, no, I'm not. I actively don't suffer because I use my prefrontal cortex when I have emotions, because I know how to self-regulate Maria's nervous system, self-regulate my embodied brain. And so now I have grown-up words to explain to you, but then people say, ha ha ha, neuroscience, everyone has something to believe in. No. So every one of us begins in somewhere on the book of Akash. Yes, I'm at the very beginning. I'm also an Akashic record reader. And so not everyone chooses the parents. Sometimes it's chosen for them. Not everybody chooses, because sometimes we also have karma that we carry and we're actually closing it out. So it's very fascinating. LBLT, if you ever want to get a life between life and or lives hypnotherapy session. I always forget which one it is. But that is where I can tell you all that as long as you don't know if your neuroception is still asking, are you safe or not, to be yourself. Okay, so Dr. Amy, again, she explains why neuroception is what determines our response to everything in any moment of our life. It is not based on reality, it is based on one's perception, and therefore it is not willpower or motivation. So again, when you have a narrative that sustains suffering, a Shaolin master tells you life is suffering with ignorance, anger, and hatred. It's like, okay, yeah, anger, hatred, or greed. Anger and greed and ignorance. Ignorance, they don't know their own body. They don't know that they can get better, and these therapists have been doing research for many years now. But YouTube and them being all over YouTube began once they closed us in homes, and thank goodness they allowed them to come online, because I thank Therapy Nutshell Lady, Nutshell in Therapy. She explained to me what my panic attacks were, and that gave my cerebral brain an answer, because I'm a person who is cerebral. My number one dominant subcortical area, like my twins, is that we want to physically be safe and we hug each other. And that's why the bear won't eat us. And then I'm a self-agent, and I'm pretty sure, is bonding because of her going up to my mother and saying, "Mommy, I will never leave you." I instead went to make my suitcase once I was spanked after I was done. And that means, thank you, Dr. Nancy Siegel, that I got to be a differentiated self, and the biological father called me the wrong name. I waited 3 times just to make sure my ears heard right, because you could never be so sure. And I said, "I'm Maria." So I don't have a self-image. I have a, yes, right here. You see her? This is it. The soul, really, it's amazing. So self-empowerment, personal development, mindset growth podcast. Yes, IHP paid and free content is for anyone who does not want to continue with the narrative that sustains suffering, or the very destructive mindset, or basically also ignore, if it's hard to think and feel, that says something about your body, not mine, because mine is actually the optimized version of your body's potential. So I don't do let me support mediocrity. Inspiring human potential was from the very beginning all about you being yourself. If you want to choose to not achieve emotional vulnerability and availability, that is your own choice. I won't be making any of those choices. But when you want to choose to tell me that we still have evil Knievel medieval out there, using our brothers and sisters' bodies, no, actively, they found out that the wrath of the gods, epilepsy is not the wrath of the gods. Thank you, Hippocrates or Hippocrates. And today we know, thank you, Bezo van der Kolk, Stephen Porges, Peter Levine, Pat Ogden, Dr. Daniel Fox, a bunch of names. So neuroscience and neuroception and neuroplasticity, it all really does wonders for the people who care to be their self and who want to flock to here, because we heal trauma and we don't put up with bullshit. So we don't pat people on the back for carrying on with what is their body and protection. They can have their stories and they can continue to have fun like they have been. 3D, 4D, our brothers and sisters of fear. It's just not Lucifer. So we're actually giving them new names. Cusco, Yzma, Kronk, I am. Okay, so that's why I'm an entertainer and an educator. And Melanie Greenberg, as she points out, the narrative is often one in which they are either bad, unworthy, unlovable, or one in which they are weak and the world is not safe, or they are powerless and helpless. So when you're a 3-year-old and you're not weak and you're not unsafe to say, "You can't spank me," and then you get spanked and you're 3 and you say, and you get up and you scooch on away and you go make your suitcase while the grown-ups laugh. This is called a self-agent who probably would have wanted to go, I know to who. I didn't go anywhere, so I probably just sat like this and was grumpy the whole time, which I can still do very well with my mother, and that's why she gets the trauma time. Okay, so we were all, yes, with trauma, just some of us actually play it out only with the very same caregiver, and it's whatever, you can't spank me anymore because now I'm a grown-up, ha ha ha. So this is what a self-agent looks like, and then that's why the fear thing, it's okay. So with panic attacks, I and my twin both had them in different ways. And I remember one of the times she used the word strong. I said, "I'm not strong. I'm in the practice of dealing with it." This is the difference. Because I was like, I can't lift a rock from the floor. So strength in my ears, again, I'm very literal. I'm like, no, it's not strength. And the lovely, smart psych educators that I learned from, they allowed me to understand it's like a muscle. So you know how you work out your biceps? Yes, which I don't do because I really don't like to work out, but I will be working out because that's my one weakness, kryptonite. Yes, I do understand. So here's what's funny about the empowered feminine mystic, enlightenment, soul, age group, functional adult. We know our soul. The soul is the same for all. But what I'm trying to say is I know my voice. I'm not Ariel, I'm Maria. And I also know that with enough attention, just about anything can be mastered. And myself can be mastered. You can't change this. But I can't change it. Yeah, so when people say, "I thought you would change," you're like, "Excuse me, come again." My ears are not hearing well. And then when you get told you should change, I simply thought that I said I want to be unconditionally loved for exactly who I am. So maybe I misspoke. I'm not sure. This is not confusing me. I should have how I didn't know about a lot of things until I did, and now I know exactly. I don't want to be myself. Oh wow, really? You know what? It's so cool. I know a fancy lady. She tells you all about the dangers of having no emotions and how modern day therapists are going to imprison you like this. And I'm thinking that poor 3-year-old. But hey, you're looking beautiful in that suit, and oh, the man is looking even more fabulous as can be. So while they continue to pretend to do self-empowerment, personal development, mindset, and growth podcasts in many different ways, shapes, and forms, I actually know what I'm doing, which is why emotionally invincible, because apparently someone could look away and erode the confidence of the human being man who let me know about a lot of things, and I'm like, wow, you think that I would do what with my brain when you don't call me back? Oh, you must not know what an empowered feminine does. It's not because I'm a woman, it's because I'm an empowered human being who knows that is called, they could be busy with life. I don't have a trigger. I mean, do you really think it's all about you? Cusco. Oh, are you upset that they're looking into Pacha? Does anybody remember when he's erasing? So Cusco is the perfect example of what every person, as long as they disregard, that they're like, I don't want us to all be special. I only want some of us to, and I want people to stop about the feelings, and I just want it to be right. I want people to take care of the air and the water and the food, and I want people to take care of this heat. I love heat. I mean, personally, I think I'll freeze to death in cold, but heat, gosh darn it, I will be good. Yes, because I maintain a healthy lifestyle inside and out, not just pretending. Outside doesn't do much if your body is in distress. I'm just letting you all know. You can look as fancy as can be. The empty vase is because, unfortunately, poor unfortunate soul, so sad but true. That one wanting to be pretty, that one wanting to get the girl. And do I help them? No, I don't. I say, okay, look, poor unfortunate souls. I can't say that. I can sing Ursula and make fun of this, but I really can't. I've told therapists, okay, I have a question. I'm a mentor, content creator, podcast host. I'm a mystic, so I'm a woo-woo one. And I'm also pseudoscience, because you all know I'm learning from you all about the sciences, but people don't believe me. I tell them there's no demonic possession, Patrick McNamara. I give them all the data points. I even am trying to the best of my ability, Patrick can, to let them know that the frequency won't rise, but we have a Zen master who he's a Zen master like that Shaolin master who has suffering in the body. So apparently they don't know how to do the ventral vagal workout. Do the left and do the right. So apparently, I don't know, maybe though it's my genes. I heard this thing about the ileals. I can feel deeply and think deeply. So when you have utter clarity about where you are at right now, I'm a functional child adult. The next level of experience will reveal itself to you. I'm continuing to be Maria, unchanged, unbreakable, because the self is owned by me. You see, my 1-year-old is mine, my 3-year-old is mine, and it's mine. And that's why my mom makes fun of me. I say, yeah, it's all mine. I'm mine. I'm not yours. Excuse me, I'm not an object, I'm not your property. Did you not understand what that, so. How dedicated we are to the basic choices that we have, yes, made in our lives is how lives unfold. Our lives, my lives unfold really well. I was 16, I'm like, okay, teenage boyfriend, this is getting, no, 16, it wasn't old yet. This is what we're doing, this is where I'm headed, and this is how it's gonna go. Cool. Okay. We were BFFs for 2 years. I'm pretty sure we got it rocking and rolling, and we could have made it an open relationship, but it's okay because I'm forgiving like that. And by the 3rd time, I'm like, okay, dude, this is getting old. No, I said, this is getting childish. We're growing up and you're immature. Just make up your mind. It's been 3 years. Like, really, it can't be that hard. And then I had a nice conversation about cowards and fearful ones with God. And I said, no, Lucifer, God, I really have not spotted. I've seen human beings. They suffer. They have bad manners. They don't know how to tell you the truth. My BFFF didn't tell me the truth, and I did something that I feel ashamed of, yes, but I understand and I learned. So when you are expanding, the soul doesn't actually die anywhere because it always knows what it means to be a clear conscious. It's called an inner child that doesn't die. So open-hearted spontaneity. When you meet Patrick Tiahan, he'll tell you how amazing it is to watch his son be raised in open-hearted spontaneity. In the meantime, we got a man who plays Russian roulette on a screen. He thinks he loves his kids, and I think, wow, please, God, make me into a big monster right now. Oh, I really wish my imagination could be winning right now, because I want to basically pummel him to death with my and I won't. Of course I won't, because see, I'm a smiling kid who knows, God, you're great. I understand. Yes, source. We have two sides to coin. They got to have free will for the woo ones. Oh, science, you don't have free will. See, determined. Robert Spotsky, you gave everybody an excuse for how they don't have to do the work. You put your left foot in and your right foot in and you shake it all about. I'm here to challenge every person who thinks this is fake. And oh, believe me, it's not a challenge at all. I just love when they go behind your back and then they just they can't handle it. It's like she has to have something, you know. This is the part of the FBI agent, CIA agent with his secrets. I already know all my secrets. You think that I care? My confidence is based on you or anyone? I feel really bad for the famous people when they crumble in front of something. I'm like, come on, give it a rest. Do you really care about what people think? Don't you know? You're just people, and they put you somehow on pedestals, and then they forgot you're human, and somehow, I don't know, they forgot that. I guess, yeah, they forgot that I met college students who were fucking and miserable, and it's not the sex revolution. All those people could have used therapists, but apparently they thought it was normal to fuck someone and be miserable. I'm just thinking, how's that normal? So you will have yucky emotions, sad emotions, feeling lonely. And I told him, you don't have to physically fuck. You realize this, right? We're in college. This is mid-20s. They're out of the adolescent brain. While immature people, I get it. They're idiots. I was an idiot for a short time too. Once you get old enough, I'm thinking, where's your self-worth? So secure attached, this is what this is. Self-led, common sense, because I see a whole bunch of people dragging pain points around and then thinking we're pretending. We're not pretending. We have bodies in connection. You must not have that body. So Dr. Amy will help you with that. She's offering toolkits. Patrick Tian is offering toolkits for anybody who is not getting better from CPTSD. So when I hear somebody saying, it's not that easy, wow, no, the easy didn't come out of my mouth at all. But I guess, again, do I need to use strong? I'm emotionally strong. I'm emotionally invincible. I mean, it really doesn't sound correct because you're human and emotions means vulnerability. So my ancestry, I learned, didn't want to be in the fetal position because if they were crying, bear eats you, which is why when any of people say, well, pick the bear over the man, sure, you will not do that. I know I won't. I will say, can I pick the man? I've chosen the man. I know exactly who's going to win. And I know why. And that's not me and the bear, that's for sure. So again, late IHP show, as we continue to have fun. Self-empowered people don't think it's a competition. God always wins. Intelligence wins. Doesn't anybody know what the fallen angel is? So please stop insulting brothers and sisters and people, because again, when somebody wants to make out poor children to be monsters, I feel really sad and upset. And then I also think they're ignorant about what trauma charges feel like. Because I felt a little sliver of one. I told you all about it today. We had 2 episodes. And I'm not kidding. Those who humble us, the spiritual people, the woo-woo ones, yeah, sure, we know we're woo-woo. We're okay with it. Humble, humility. It's a feeling. You'll know it, and you'll know when you're not in it. You'll know when you're in self-righteousness. People that are very clear with themselves. I can know. You know when I know when Maria thinks she's actually right? So I don't actually have an ill-placed anger because, again, I didn't have it suppressed. Okay, so I'm just going to let you all know I am an oversoul. I have an oversoul. I have a bunch of lots of people that I got to meet. BFFF, we'll start with her. 7 days after I find out this ridiculous news, I'm gonna go talk to her, ask why she didn't tell me the truth. She looks in my eyes and says she was afraid I wouldn't be her friend. I said, you know, I promised Jesus I forgive. You've seen me forgive that dude, so please come again. Give me something better, because this, and also you did throw one of our friends under the bus, but that's on me too. I talked ill about her with you, so I'll take responsibility. But again, why didn't you tell me? I would have appreciated it more had you informed me, because from him, I'm used to him lying. It's the 3rd time. Now, here was the funny story. Her boyfriend, who became her life partner, didn't appreciate it to the point of where he needed to get, people who need to have payback. Yeah, to me, that's petty. Means you got an ego in town. You might as well just let it go. Like, what, yeah. So this is where I'm completely insecure human beings. When ego comes in town saying tit for tat, that's not how it works. But sure, whatever. And typically men will allow themselves, a real man will allow himself to get humble versus allow an ego like that to be in the room, because it's just ridiculous. So you haven't done the emotional labor. This is how I feel about forgiveness. It's you process a charge, you make peace with it, not that I have to do tit for tat, because that's like you holding on to string something. So now you think that you are justice and justicer. Yeah, actually, I have an issue with that, because I do know of God, and he's the only one, intelligence, consciousness, that's going to actually give me any kind of scale. You human being in flesh, no. And I'm already uncomfortable with that, because again, you're holding something now that you think is going to make you, so it's something, again, weak. A weak person needs to get that, because their ego is weak. Vulnerable means that now I feel that you've wronged me. So you don't know how to work with envy, jealousy, spite, or that someone wronged you. So yeah, that's weak, because the minute that I got a weak one, they're going to betray the herd. There you go. So instinctively, I'm going to know you're not capable of maintaining your 3-year-old and differentiated self and maintain integrity, virtue. I can bring it in this way if I wanted to, because that's the analysis that I'm doing right now. But again, I'm imperfect and flawed. As if there's a bear coming, I'm going to run the fuck away. I'm weak too. I'm a coward just as much as anybody else is. Okay, just so we're clear. Okay, so BFFF wasn't hard. The same answer. This boyfriend wanted the exchange, so we got to exchange a kiss. We found it ridiculous, and we in fact laughed in each other's faces. I found it ridiculous that he even thought that that was necessary. But again, men will justify when they get insecure, and there's nothing that I as a woman can do, because they've told me that I'm a woman, and I'm like, I did learn about the difference with the brain. It's not enough for you to continue with this story. The narrative is bullshit, but hey, let me not be the one to say anything, because as soon as I say anything, you're a woman, you don't get it. Okay, I'm a woman. And I can't point out how weak you are, because I'm 4'9", which means that even if you're a child, I will be physically afraid, because I will know that I don't know who you are. And if I do anything with my voice that I might trigger something, snap and done. I'm not thinking of it as being a demon, a devil. No, it's a human being who got treated like a little piece of shit, which means that I'm in danger because you don't know how to handle yourself. So it's very explainable when you're not ignorant what suffering is and what people who don't know how to do self-empowerment, personal development, or mindset growth are. And it's any person who's wanting to use stereotypes. I despise stereotypes. They make me pissed because they're offensive to men. But men won't take my side, and women are just as offensive when I see them. So for me, the gender has nothing to do with it, because actually I today know what it is. Are you securely attached, self-led? Do you have a higher self? Are you a person who needs a therapist and you don't want to go, and I have to put up with it because I'm not decent enough to be saluted, and I can't say anything in your face? I can share about it. People can make assumptions about me and even think it's arrogant. Go for it. I've met them before. Neuroscience, ha 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 ha. Everyone has something to believe in. Again, I'm the mystic. Woo, but sure. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to go hang out with the flat earthers today, because I really don't want to be around you. No, I don't do that. I have fun with all of my brothers and sisters, because again, I do know humility. Maria's stupid about a lot of things. So you don't do anything by yourself. It's thanks to my herd that I bring to you stories. I use mindful mindset, and I consistently have, to pursue personal and spiritual growth, because Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, it was easy. Maria, kind, unkind. Yes. I did the little sword fight once, and I was like, I'm sorry, God, I didn't mean it. Then my BFFF, sorry, God, I didn't mean it. I learned how not to betray myself and to betray that which is a clear conscience, which Robert Sapolsky determined. Come on in, my first 3 years of life. Again, that's why I gave you the story. I can bring science in and explain exactly why, but you know what I do know? Can't prove intent, you can't prove body, you can't prove shit from inside. You can't always be on. Come again. Are you teaching? What do you do? What's your profession? I can't do that either, can I? Because, wow, excuse me, not on. Yeah, Deb Dana points out how ventral energy is important. I think you got a hypocrite in the room again. And you got plenty of them. Aren't you doing anything about your hypocrites besides telling them that they need, like, seriously? So while my woo-woo pseudoscience ass will say, no shaman is a good shaman, if they say, come to me, I'll save you 20 years of therapy. Will you now? You will allow yourself to do what? Disrespect an entire group of people who are brilliant because you're a shaman? Yeah, I think that you kind of don't know what you're talking about, and you're also not caring about a person's health, mental, physical, emotional, and you think that you can play magical batons in the air. While I know you will not be changing their maladaptive behavior, you will not be changing any of that which they did in the first years of their life, because even if you're clearing all of that energy stuff and they're allowing their body to become that which is lighter, they still, for the whole however many years of their life, behaved certain ways. Sensations, images, behaviors, affix, meaning. So your maladaptive attitude with the inner and outer critic, with like college students whining about fucking and then continuing to do it. Pinocchio, how's your island? It's not Lucifer. It's insecure people who don't want to go and get themselves into a whole community. Go and have fun, however much it takes. Reclaim yourselves. Get kingdom of God in your body and actually honor the child that is you. And then say, I'm a doofus about self-help for me. I want life now. But at least you did the right thing for yourself, not for me. And then I can hear you whine about why you don't want to be a securely attached, healthy, self-worth person and think, wow, those fancy suits are doing great wonders on the external. Yeah. Ursula, you got some more seaweed in your cauldron. Are they coming to you yet? Because I know that they're coming to you so that they can figure out where they're headed tomorrow. So again, it's very clear for those of us who do Dharma what karma looks like, and then to explain it to you. But that's because I got knowledge in my butt pocket and my front pocket, back, but all pockets. Okay, so with that, again, I don't know is an immense possibility. Only when you realize, yes, I do not know. The longing, the seeking, and possibility of knowing arise. I've always been curious of learning new things, and I still am. I never understood why teenagers were trying to prove everything. I'm like, what are you doing? This isn't schoolwork. We're just talking. Why are you still... What are you being so pissy about? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Now I know their personality is not theirs. They have an image based on words, and I'm like, yeah, okay, fakos. I thought your human name was what you were, but I have now understood, thanks to attachment trauma educators, that I'm dealing with your 3-year-old, your 1-year-old, your 8-year-old, all your codependent parts, but your teenager thinks they're badass. And in the meantime, I'm seeing you as you stagnate and you lose energy by the minute and you are not happy as can be. In the meantime, some of us are really happy because we cherish every 24 hours because we know we might not have tomorrow, and we got lucky. I got lucky. I told the guy we got lucky with Ilios because they think, his friends, that he's a pathetic or something. I said, no, I'm pretty sure you're good. You seem good, but I have a question. How do you wake up in the morning? Do you remember all of your movements, or do you have moments of time that you lost? Okay, then I asked, do you have good relationship and can you work with all anger? How about sadness? Okay, so crying part, yeah, you might want to look at that. We want to make sure to have all of the emotions come forth. And you'll know, I know you'll know, and I love you, so I'm telling you, you'll know if you have a dampened thing going on. So, as somebody who loves you and is attachment trauma informed, I said, I'm going to say this. You posed me a question, so if you posed it, there's something there. There's good therapists out there. And that's what I share with people who pose questions to a person who does self-empowerment, personal development, mindset growth, podcast, content, mentorship, and workshops, retreats, and mystic stuff. So yes, Akashic Record reading's fun. You won't do anything with it if you don't actually own yourself. Also tarot, also oracle cards, channeling, downloading, anything and everything, LBLT, you name it. You can do all of it in the world. If you don't have a body that is in connection, you're not actually thriving and actually making the best of this lifetime that you have, because you're ignoring the one thing that you are. Yes, you're a person with a self, and you don't even care to get to know yourself. So how are you even going to do personality development or personal development when you're taking things personally instead of maturing your emotional, mental, and physical plane? Hey, Cusco. Oh, are you upset that it's all about pot shot because you're an asshole? Yeah, well, there's a lot of assholes out there. Don't worry, you're not the only one. I'm an asshole too. Am I not decent enough to be saluted? Wow, 50 years old man. Where's your wife? Established poet. I didn't do anything except for make sure I don't want to be your friend. I had no beef with you. I still don't, but I did begin to get annoyed in the moment that you're hovering over me. And your energy is just like so all over this. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't like... You were not in this. Oh my God. Okay, let me get up and move. And what do? They get up and move. Okay, I'm going to get move again. Okay, really? I need to leave. So when you meet those who are insecure and they just want everybody to welcome them, it's like, okay, I got rejected at 4, so you want to call it strong? Sure. I just know that my mother said, everyone's different. It's okay. You're serious. You'll meet serious people. And I do have them. They're serious, and they're seriously fun, by the way. Intellectuals. So join the 5D Mystic community. We love compassion, kindness, empathy, the soft skills. Thanks, Gary Vee. This is what really matters as a leader. And as I said, I'm going to add to that, Gary Vee. It's also what makes you a leader. It's not only important, it makes you a leader. And when people don't have it, they're not leaders. Not for healthy self-worth human beings. Oh, we don't justify those who are not leaders. We just allow ourselves to know, hey, look, they're all hanging out together. Look, Diego's family. Oh, I think that they're deciding to use nicknames now for each other. Oh, look, I think that they're throwing, are they throwing stuff? That doesn't look like they're being, oh, you know what they're doing? I know what they're doing. They're messing around. That's why we stay far away from them. They won't want to be near us. That's a fake goal. And you know why? It's not because God protects us from someone. You don't need protection. Pathologies are really very clear unless you don't spot it. And the people who don't spot it, they haven't learned how Gabor Mate points out the gut is a bad gut until you've reparented yourself and gotten to become a good gut. I got a good gut. If I'm in physical, I'm not there, I'm gone. And actually, you know, it's unfortunate business when you see people who think they're badass, you know they're not. I'm 4'9" and I stand no chance if I'm ever alone. I'm not kidding. And I smile and laugh and people are like, wow, you're so calm about it. Well, I mean, that's why I've kind of made my peace with it. And I remember I have a friend of mine and he kept insisting, this is a guy friend, no, but you don't know your strength. No, I said to my friend, I said, look, please stop being nice and don't humor me. Did you see the size of me? I'm just saying, like, it's okay. And there's strengths and weaknesses. That's why none of us do anything alone. And I actively know what Maria is capable of physically. I'm just saying, give me a rock. Okay, I'm not, it's not, and I don't do any of the martial arts stuff because I have a bad back. So I can't do some of the things that other people can do. And people say it's mindset, and I say, fuck you. No, I don't. My mother taught me manners. I don't say fuck you. I say, you don't know back spasm. You don't have scoliosis. You're not an expert. So please disengage from. So when people chime in on aspects that they're not the experts in, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, I do believe in miracles. Thank you very much. But in the meantime, as I'm grounded in reality, I have places to be, things to do. Could we please give it a rest and know that we all have that which is Ice Age, Manny, Diego, Sid. So here we're a nice crowd of people. We welcome all. We make fun of people who don't want to heal because they've chosen that they decided that they don't believe in science. And well, I mean, I believe in God and Akash and Source. So there, I can't really say anything. You know what I mean? Like they're just going to point at me. And then there's the other ones who are going to point at us and say, oh, you're all, and it's like, what? We're wrong? The Ways to God, the book, all of us co-authors, we have different stories, but we love each other to death because we're different, but we know we all come with the same message. It's from the heart, with the heart, and it's personal, and it's one's journey and another's journey, and it will be with compassion. It will be to create a fair and just society. It will be to continue doing what our ancestors did. That's why we do Dharma, not karma. The ones who instead do karma, again, it's okay. The balancing act, it's always a balance. So that's why God chimes in and Source, and you know, we just say, okay, we got it. We know we all play a role in this lovely, you know, it's a small world after all. And let's hope to be here tomorrow, 24 hours. Make them count, as Sadhguru would point out. And thanks for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe. And have a wonderful evening.